let me hand things over to Bernie then.
Bernie, so
Okay, I'm just figuring out here how to load up a YouTube
Okay.
video.
Man can
We'll be
make
right back.
Ormus, but he has a hard time with presenting screen shares. Yeah.
Bernie, if possible, can you do it without the sound? That way we won't get pinged by YouTube.
Well, no, it's videos of my own channel.
Oh, okay.
Of just some episodes that I've done with Andreas Zertis here. We've also with Jeremiah and Jeremy and also Charlie and Mark and everyone. A year of the Coil series I've been doing, as well as
Yeah,
now,
that's cool. Yeah.
Got another series called Real Science, and we were lucky to just have on Nancy and John Hutchinson last week, and now we're taking on a project with them, the crystal battery builds, and advancing that technology.
Go for it, man. Go for it. The floor is yours, sir.
All right, now I can work StreamYard perfectly fine. It's the Zoom I'm trying to figure out how to.
Oh, you're having trouble sharing. So it's the green share screen button.
I'm on that part. I'm trying to figure out how to share a specific Google tab within the share. Is that a
yes?
possibility?
So make sure that tab is on top in your browser, and then it's going to list a bunch of different sharing, and one of those should be your browser, right? It should say Chrome or whatever, and then it'll.
I figured it out now. Thank you. I just had to separate it to.
Tim is based, man. Tim, you're kind of like if Greg Kinnear's Talk Soup was for anti-gravity. It's like it's a whole tight vibe. I like it.
Thanks. You know what? I want to redo. I kind of want to do a real studio though. People have been telling me not to. I don't know.
Why not?
They're saying that it would look there would be too much of a disconnect between myself and other people if I had like a studio.
It depends. So I did the Timcast and things are very different in real life. Because people like, scientists and stuff like to take a minute, walk around, they get a little anxious. It can be, you can get more out of them, I think, if you put them in their own environment sometimes. But, a live show can also be cool. Having a guest in a room is great too. Different vibe.
But right now I'm doing okay. And for the conference, we keep things mellow. So that isn't. But this is just my living room. I just
doing wrong. Sorry.
It's very spacey.
Right? Oh, burnt out burn eye by this hour of the stream. My apologies. The coffee slowly kicking in. So yeah, once I do have this loaded in, it'll be going over the talking with Nancy and John and the basic materials to build these crystal batteries, and then a clip that I used of other YouTuber Laser Saber and his builds and testing of these batteries running for several years, powering things. And then
now, so Bernie, are you having trouble? You're having trouble sharing still, right?
It's that I separated the tab into a new tab browser window.
Okay.
That was the issue where now I go like this, and hopefully I finally have it.
Yeah, let me know if you're having trouble, bud.
There we go. Is that it?
Okay, you started sharing it. Wait, there's something. Yeah, I think you got it.
Of course, it wants to load with ads first.
Oh, it's because you know what I think. So I think the challenge is you are streaming on StreamYard, which is totally cool, but that's going to eat your bandwidth, and that could be the issue that you're having.
Yeah, that is part of it, and why it was taking me so long to figure that out, because I'm both on the Zoom and the StreamYard simultaneously. If it doesn't start working, I do have a second computer hooked up just through Zoom downstairs that I can switch over to if need be, but it's a little.
It's going. There we go. It's a little blurry, but
stupid ads. All right, here it should be.
I do. This is just me. I do YouTube Premium now.
I know. I got a freaking upgrade. I just got monetized, so I think I can do it. Here we go. How's the sound?
The right thing, because nobody does. They think it's a bad idea, and so
What the hell is I looking at?
So right here, I've got loaded one of the power cells powering a light bulb of the crystal battery. Sorry. But that is what is going to change it all, and that's the other topic of tonight's stream. You want to do is the crystal batteries.
Yes, and that has to do with this electromotive potential. So when you have when you have a metal, it's actually a mineral in your body, but let's say it's a metal, and you have a metal that is on the negative potential, and you've got one that's on the positive, right? So that's we identified a chart, and the lithium is all the way negative, and gold is all the way positive. But when you start bringing those materials together, I was trying to find materials that were easy and cheap. So like I can use copper as a positive. Silver is better, but I use copper as a positive, and I use aluminum. Okay, but I have used gold, and I have used gold, and what did I use that with? Somebody on the low end. Anyway, I mean, it's got like 2 volts, bang, just off a little pin. So it's the differentiation between those 2 potentials that a slightly alkaline fluid or a more alkaline crystal, and potentially better to have a piezo like a Rochelle salts, okay, that will pick it up. So that's a constant. That's a constant in the universe, that differential between there. And the amount of amperage that you get is determined by your surface areas. So
I don't think on my side I can hear or see the thing on the YouTube stream. I don't think this part's coming through.
The barrels, but so and then it's this little balancing act on how much you take out as to how much is actually there. And what we've done is gotten a capacitor, and we had special capacitors. Shoot, I can't remember. It was a year ago we were working on that. And a special diode. So because you're gonna that wire's gonna have pressure on it, right? And you want to load the capacitor with that pressure, but you want to get the capacitor, really full, right? And so the diode helps with that, so it doesn't spill back onto the cell. I've had that happen where I've had a capacitor spill back in the cell.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, so how big are these capacitors? Are they super capacitors or just kind of regular, or what were they for?
Yeah, you had one about the size of this.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining.
I mean, it took a while, and we had a little cell about the size of my finger that filled it. And
there should be like a techno band called Killer Capacitors,
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And when John went to discharge it, he used a fork and it ended up welding it onto the capacitor.
Oh, did you work it out?
Yeah, that was over in Minnesota. So, I mean,
that's cool. We're in Minnesota. I'm in Minnesota right now.
We're in just north of St. Cloud. Where are you?
I'm by St. Paul, kind of a little north of St. Paul, kind of Cambridge area.
Okay, so Rice. So basically head west from Cambridge and you hit Rice.
That's crazy. Interesting.
When we were, I don't know how long you've been there, but when we came up from the BP oil disaster, and we literally went through 160 tornadoes, and
yeah, it's crazy.
And so we get up north and we get set up, and all that summer that we were there, because we were working on the Fukushima problem and deciding, where we were going to actually bring our equipment. We bounced off the Great Lakes, here, and there's a town right on the border there between the United States and Canada, and the Canadian town was accusing the U.S. of noise pollution.
I bet they were.
Yeah, You're kind of bouncing shit around up there.
See, people never, they're always saying, okay, America and Mexico, and then they're joking about it, how Canada
is putting out this constant usable charge, and that when you connect them in series in different ways, you're able to build an everlasting permanent battery that can actually run specific units, devices, and is essentially everlasting. And
what's in that
part?
I'm pretty sure the stream's not picking up any of this audio or video.
Extremely fascinating.
It has
stuff
the audio,
that
just not the
Hutchinsons
video.
You know what? I'm getting both, actually. I'm seeing both.
Spheres,
Zoom's
or if
good.
you're pulsing them with certain energies, you can actually get the batteries to operate as AC, not just DC. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're AC and DC. They give out both AC and DC.
And that's exciting news because most batteries are just DC. To have an AC battery, you can do a lot with that.
Yeah, well, and
Sorry, can you walk me through what's inside of the thing? We have a video. I based my design off Laser Saber's interpretation of John Hutchinson's.
Yeah, so this will be a good part. If you guys don't mind, I'll bring up the Laser Saber video of how to do, and we'll just play that for everybody to see. And this is how everybody can make these at home to start experimenting, and this is usable power.
It's not quite Home Shopping Network yet, but you can.
No, this is better than Home Shopping Network because you're learning how to engineer, build everlasting power cells.
Definitely hearing on my side of the chat, people are saying the stream's broken and that they can't see the stream. They just see a bunch of faces of people and it's all
They
silent.
see the Zoom meeting instead of
Look at that. There it goes.
the video.
Yeah, that runs
But
fast.
Zoom sees it
So
all.
1.4 volts, and it's putting out, I'll put this on the 10 milliamp.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, just for prefix, right now, anyone that's on the Zertis channel or my Crypto Alchemist or the Burn Eye YouTube channels, you can hop over to the Alien Scientist channel, which does have the video sharing through Zoom, where currently on ours, it is just showing a giant screen of the Zoom.
Oh, okay.
So are we?
Zoom is actually getting the video of the Hutchinson that we're playing.
Here on the 10 milliamps. All right, it's putting out 90 milliamps.
Are we just in open discussion now?
Why don't sorry.
know where to start.
Sorry about that.
Bernie is doing an update on energy stuff, and then I think we'll do open discussion after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's this is the
So,
Hutchinson crystal battery build, and this stream was recorded early last week. Right here, what's playing right now is showing Laser Saber's build of one of the crystal battery cells running a magnetic motor there, and he's got several series over 4 to 6 years that he kept doing them. One that was in a 12-volt series of 24 of the cells, and continuously powering some fans and lights throughout his garage or workplace. This one's one of his earlier videos of one of the first units. And back to the sound.
Motor, and kind of talked about them. ID Pointless 2, John Bedini, lid motor. A lot of us were experimenting with these a couple years ago. And then I just put some into long-term testing. I just put them on a shelf and said, let's see how these run over the next few years. And they've been doing quite well. I've been quite impressed with the duration of runtime I've gotten out of these. And I'm going to build up some more here. I'm actually going to build a larger system, but this video is going to document the building of a single cell. I'm going to build a 10-cell setup, and I'm going to get around 15 volts. And subscribe, follow along if you want to see that project. It will probably be the video after this one. So there seems to be about half a cup of alum in one of these containers. So I'm going to go ahead and use all of that. And I want to break it up a little more in this coffee grinder so that it mixes better. It's really clumpy. But yeah, half cup of each of these ingredients. And that should be just right. Okay, so now a half cup of this no salt, sodium-free substitute. And this, if you look at the ingredients, this is potassium chloride. And that's one of the main ingredients in this. So we'll put the potassium chloride in here, half a cup. That's about right. So now we want to get half a cup of the borax in there. So as you can tell, these are very approximate measurements. I have not researched for a precise ratio because with a 2-year testing time and the previous cells still going, it would take a long time to really figure out the perfect ratio. But after 2 years of use, this ratio seems to be working pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and powder up the borax at this point. I will leave the last ingredient, which is the Epsom salt, and we'll get that in here.
Yeah, love. Thank you.
So half a cup.
Yeah, bro, powder up that
Epsom
for
salt.
it. Oh, the Epsom salt, yeah, that's right.
And you can see this stuff is really granular, so we're going to have to blend this up a little more to get a good mix.
I mean, this is a lot of the same stuff that's in my crystal rose. Not use your mom's.
Okay, so that's our mix. I'm going to go ahead and put a cover over this, and we'll shake this up. We really want to mix all these ingredients together thoroughly. So
The main key of these battery designs is that they're very simple, cheap, easy to access materials.
They're not supposed to.
okay, so we got this stuff mixed up, and we're ready to actually build the crystal cell.
Anthony.
Okay, so we've got the burner on. I've got the magnesium core here ready, and we're just going to build a very simple crystal cell here. This will just be the magnesium core with a copper pipe cap. And the only difference I'm going to do is I'm going to put a spacer down here so that this magnesium core doesn't get.
Hear me.
Sorry, Nancy, did you want me to pause it? Did you have something that you guys wanted to say, or should I keep playing the video?
No, I wanted to say something, and this is the so basic stuff. Is that actually the thinner the amount of material, the better it works. I mean, I've gotten this thing down to a micron as far as the amount of material.
Right. I was thinking that. I'm glad that you bring that up. I was just going to look into, because I did nanotechnology with graphene, and I can imagine nanopolymers that would be perfect for this,
Well,
especially the super bad.
It's the sodium silicate. When you coat the sodium silicate on your screw or your whatever is your inside piece and your outside inside piece, you're coating it with that, and then you're not going to short the thing out if you get really, really tight on it. And that's when I was talking about last meeting we were at, that the compound that I came up with that has the viscosity to it can be then actually sprayed.
Jeremy, get in here. What?
So it can be, so that's, but that's like the second step on this. The first step is, well, you can have somebody sitting there and grinding all this shit and making this and making something that's this big, but we are.
No, you want to grow it. See, so what we did in school, I mean, so there's a couple of things. Graphene, we did some laser ablation where you start with this fine graphite and then you burn it. But the best thing is when you seed it. When you seed it and you cause through electrolysis in like an ammonium sulfate solution, you have a positive negative charge, and you can let it start to grow. So if you seed it in certain places, it grows in certain.
We're shutting the lab down and going home, so we're gonna either have to demonstrate what we wanted to show real quick right now, or not at all. And
Okay. Well, why don't we do that? So Bernie, do you think we could pause?
No problem at all. Not a problem. Already.
Okay.
nice. This is pre-recorded. You can resume this exactly as it left off.
Okay.
No worries at all.
Are we?
It's,
Let me get
other,
this,
this other
right here, I'm gonna-
Okay, so what do you guys got?
Here's a block of gallium, and here's a thing of indium, and if you press one into the other, you can actually, they'll melt and merge. And this is going a little slower than I'd hoped, but slowly but surely, you can actually poke.
Oh, it's coming through the other side.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh,
And this goes through, and you can pull it out, and yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's solid. Well, it looks, yeah. So you can. It's a cool little experiment. Just goes through very slowly. It doesn't get hot. It's forming a eutectic.
Oh, it melts it. Yeah.
Oops a daisy.
Yeah, I'll clean that up in a
wow,
sec.
and that's
Anyway,
cold
it's-
state. It liquefies
Yeah,
cold state.
no, it's not. It's room temperature. So I'm gonna let that alloy, and then we're gonna head out for the night. And the tin also alloys with it. We're making gallon stand. Yeah. I know. This is just a fun little thing to play around with. Yeah, this just goes full all the way through now. Maybe I can cut this like a lightsaber or something. Just like hold it up here.
We'll slowly cut through,
Yeah,
Oh,
more.
like a molecular saw.
Yep, more or less. If I keep pressure on it, it'll go a little faster. But yeah, it's not hot at all. It's just
It's alloying,
yep.
right? It's like,
That's some ancient alchemy and new school technology cross, right?
Yep.
oh, look at that, it alloyed
Broke.
through and broke it.
Yep.
It must have followed the grain boundary through the metal.
Yep, it did. That's how it diffuses through. And
Yeah, look at that break on there. I don't know if you can see that.
I wonder if it's attached to.
it melts through slowly but surely. It's a fun little thing to do.
Show them this, these two bars and what those do.
Oh yeah. Thank you. I almost forgot. Yeah, it goes through. Yeah, what, kind of want to finish the job, but yeah, it just takes time. I'm gonna wipe my hands for a second because I
I
don't want
would be interested in thing that precipitate liquid metal down, that alloy in with mercury or having it on gold or silver, seeing what happens.
Oh, that forms an amalgam just like mercury when you put it on gold or silver, or copper. So these are two bars of indium, same metal, and if you simply ring them together, they stick. Because it's friction stir welding essentially.
So it supports it enough. Look upside down. Does that hold that? Look at that. It holds it.
Yeah, look at that. It's a fun little thing. Material science, good stuff. Anyway, yeah, that's just a very quick thing that we wanted to show. There's some liquid nitrogen. I'm gonna see if I can throw some liquid nitrogen on the graphite that we had earlier. I'll bring it over. Be careful about the.
Yeah, I don't want to turn into the T1000. Accident.
I want to turn into the T1000.
Yeah, actually, I do. Yeah, maybe I should touch it. Maybe I should eat some of it.
You, but nobody else.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Don't try this at home, kids. Dangerous metals.
Yeah, and when in that state, if it's a nano broken down state, it can easily absorb through the skin. So definitely be very careful of possible hazard.
Less toxic than
Yeah, titanium dioxide does cause cancer in DNA.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna use the restroom for just a moment. I'll be back probably about 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, no worries, Tim. This is absolutely awesome stuff you guys are showing here. Like,
Oh, this is
from
like
an alchemist perspective, and then metamaterials, it's like you're combining the ancient with the future, and absolutely loving it.
Oh, that's fine.
he's using that thing. The it's interesting that both of these are solid, but then they react, that they amalgamate and form this eutectic, which is like this
Tin, right? Yeah. The little tin pieces
it's
go in.
like
And in room temperature, that it stays in room temperature as it liquefies. That's also fast.
Liquid in the eutectic is a liquid form at room temperature, while the two component metals are solid at room temperature.
Can you use this liquid metal like to power electronics and stuff, or just like with the liquid itself, or like
Yeah, you can
attaching?
use it instead of mercury. Absolutely, it's much safer. It's not
doesn't evaporate easily.
doesn't evaporate, and we're not breathing it in and toxifying our lungs. But you know what's cool about this stuff, right? I bet you, like, if you have like a little bit of magnetic fields, we could transform it
A
into a
solid
solid.
liquid alloy state, and it's not oxidizing it all into toxic fumes or toxic heavy metal particles. It's
So
staying.
how do we use this technology?
So now what I'm doing is I put the liquid nitrogen on the graphite. I suspect that this is not like pyrolytic graphite exactly. I suspect that there's some sulfur in it, and we know that carbonaceous sulfur hydride is the room temperature superconductor. So these, I don't see any significant change in the dielectric property. Actually, that's interesting. Yeah.
It's following the bubbles up.
I mean, I think it's the bubbling. I can't tell if this is what we're seeing is the bubbling affecting these, or the.
Yeah, because some of them seem to be jumping up in the.
They're certainly all vertical when they're on top of the magnet, but they're still vertical kind of when they're not on them. I think it's, yeah, there's too much turbulence in the fluid here. We're gonna have to redesign this experiment, but yeah, if one thing I'm curious about is like pyrolytic graphite doped with sulfur, and what that is, that a superconductor under any circumstances? That would be interesting.
Trying to increase the dielectric charge, right? Or constant.
I don't think that jumbo magnet will make much of a difference here. That would be, it would look interesting. Yeah.
Jumped up the magnetic field in order of magnitude.
I think what we need to do here is, at least we will wait till the nitrogen evaporates, and then we'll have a moment to see if the dielectric property, the diamagnetic properties are different. So
Also be to try to spin some of that stuff, and
well, I've given a little sample of this graphite to pretty much everyone. As I mentioned, the stuff on the
if you can,
stuff on the eastern side of Bear Mountain is better than stuff on the western side, apparently. Because I had some chips of graphite that floated 2 or 3 millimeters above the magnet. That's like just as good as pyrolytic graphite, I would say. I'm sure some of the microstructure is similar to pyrolytic graphite, so that could certainly explain the dielectric properties. But I looked at them under an electron microscope at some point, and I did see sulfur distributed through the material. So I think it's doped with sulfur. This liquid metal up. Yeah, we'll get that in a moment. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much everything. This stuff's taking forever to evaporate.
It's not everything. How do we make the T1000 with this liquid metal?
Nope. That's not
You
a,
have to
that's,
program the metal.
How do we do that? Like, no, I want to make swords. Jeremy wants to make swords that, harden up on contacts, and liquid metal swords. No. Liquid metal swords.
now you're just being silly.
Sorry.
It's
It's late. We're all tired.
I mean, I got like an hour of sleep last night.
What? Yeah, guys, it's
After I took you back in.
let's see. It seems to be actually oh no, those are pieces of magnetite inside there that are pushing the graphite around. Never mind. There's some impurities. All right, yeah, that's pretty much everything.
Hey guys.
See, this is what people don't realize about you guys, is that you're actually skeptics. Most people don't realize what you're doing is spending most of your day being skeptical about things and trying to disprove yourselves in order to find the truth. And so that's, it's an important distinction.
I really appreciate that. That puts it perfectly.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. It's like either someone's putting us all on with a lot of disinformation, or we're onto something huge. And I guess it's it's worth checking out for the community.
I really hate to say it, but it's not one or the other. It's a little bit of both there.
Oh, yeah, quite a bit. So
The Podkletnov experiment needs to be reran in the morning when we have fresh eyes. And
Do we have a relay that will work?
yes, we do have a spare relay, and we need to configure the camera far enough away from it so that it can.
oh, look at this. Oh, now it's
Wow, there you go. There you go.
now it's hard as a rock.
Oh no, it goes down to -60. This stuff. It's going to be difficult. I could try pouring the liquid nitrogen directly on it. No, it's light and frost.
God, you're fun.
It's not going to happen. I'll figure out something else to pick it up. That's going to be tricky though.
Oh man, it's like Flubber just dancing around.
That's liquid nitrogen.
Yeah, it's got dirt in it.
Man, I seen a person walking through the mall one time that walked just like that. I gotta go get a hat. Oh, it's picking up stuff. It's getting dirty.
What's this over here? Is this a push cart on the first floor? Oh, I'm gonna go get some hot, stand in line, get some hot dogs. Oh wait.
See, people, it's like Katamari. You know, he's picking up a little. Oh, no, 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 no. There it goes.
Yeah, it's cool. Liquid. Let's get some more
Liquid
nitrogen.
nitrogen.
Play with liquid nitrogen.
Oh, beads everywhere.
Wow, just like
This is what ends up happening.
Okay, all right, let's just do it.
keep your hands over there. Hey guys, I closed the back down to playing.
Every gamer is like, no,
I definitely got a little bit on my finger.
could have liquid nitrogen cooled my CPU.
So much fun.
Can I put some on my beer?
That's true. You could totally have your nitrogen Guinness right now.
Liquid nitrogen, Guinness.
Hey, Michael.
All right, guys.
Jeremy,
Peace
that's
out.
amazing. Thank you so much. Brilliant.
Everybody.
Reporting live from Falcon Labs, Jeremy. Thank you, Mark.
Sokol, Charlie C, everyone's in there. Amazing stuff. Yeah, Tim, are you back? I sent you in the chat first I posted in the live chat the full 3.5 hour crystal battery Hutchinson stream that I was playing for anybody that wants to watch the rest of it. Secondly, as soon as Tim gets back, we can try loading the other video that we did last night with Falcon Space, but also with Gerald doing the hover coils and Jeremiah working on it, and just a quick 5 or 10 minutes of that presentation to finish it off. But I don't think Tim is back yet. Any final words there, Jeremy Reese, the alien scientist? 2 years, like how much has it come in 2 years? And like Andreas, I found it very ironic last night when I was going through your old videos, because we've teamed up on a lot of
Right.
videos. And sure enough, there's Mark Sokol and Jeremiah Pop 2 years ago when they first were
Oh, yeah.
Falcon Space, and how empty it was.
I wish I could say I knew these guys 100 years ago. I mean, like, it's amazing that in the last few years, just to see how fast and amazingly things progress. But Jeremy, I want to say, Jeremy, you heard some cats. I don't know how you do what you do, your organization skills that you deal with. I just want to say, like, another aspect of anti-gravity is dealing with humanity and walking around with people and everything like that. So thank you for all the effort you put into continuing consistently, making sure that, because it's a lot of mad geniuses working together. So thank you for all the effort, patience.
Actually, if you can pull up quickly that video on your channel from 2 years ago, it's an awesome way to finish this off, because it shows Falcon Space when they first started out, and it's literally Mark just with this big book saying, I need to do this experiment, we got to do this experiment, we got to do this experiment. and it was completely like empty shop. And then now today it's a completely filled shop, and he has all of those exact same experiments set up to run, and is starting the tests on them. And it's like you fulfilled absolutely everything you've dreamt of working on, and we're finally coming to that point of this breakthrough that's inevitable.
Well, I'm on here now. Guys, we have to get out of the lab now. I see that. I see that you're playing that video from way back in the day. So I'm gonna go outside the lab right now and show you what it looks like currently. The same. If you guys can see me and Andreas at the same time.
Yep, that's crazy. Can you do both? How do we pin both at the same time? Can you see that? Because here I am walking around the place that Jeremy's live walking around right now. Yep, there I am hanging out with Jeremiah.
You guys can hear me. There's Jeremiah there. Wow.
Yep. Good times at the Falcon Lab. This was January 5th and 6th. So while everyone else was being a fool, we were making sure to be working on actual solutions, just to be waiting. So one of the things they do at Falcon Research, or part of the lab, is taking and fixing batteries for electric cars. So that helped supplement the renting, but also the necessary equipment necessary.
I'm gonna bring this laptop back to the house, and then we'll shut the. I'm gonna watch it until like they're gonna go late, but I'm gonna. I don't know. I want to keep the stream going.
Another half hour, and we'll finish it off.
I want to keep the stream going for everybody.
Can you hear Can you hear my video, or does the video not play audio?
With the APEC conference going. I'm gonna. I'll jump back on here in a second, guys. Give me a minute.
30 kV capacitors. Each one of these capacitors is good for 30,000 volts at 0.001 microfarads, and so they're just bunched up in these
pause it
huge
for a sec?
Sure, yeah.
There's another one that's like before this, where I think Mark had just like moved into the place. Jeremiah wasn't on location, neither were you.
Oh, even earlier, yeah, before that one.
Mark's sitting in this empty warehouse just with a big textbook of these certain experiments. And if everybody that's watching this, when it's over, you rewind to the beginning when Mark's talking about listing off the experiments they have set up and showing off in the lab today. And it's literally the same ones that he's reading out of this book in this empty warehouse 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago. And it's just amazing to see how far the journey has come and the development progress happening.
I think I found it. Here we go. Boom. There it is. Yep. Long ago. This is so long ago. Look at Mark. This is like, he looks like a teenager. Look at me. Oh, I can't even look. It's so long ago. We're so young. What is this? This is 2 years ago.
That's only 2 years ago? Like, oh my goodness.
There's his bag of salt from Sodom and Gomorrah. Just kidding. And then let's go a little deeper in here. Here we go.
And charge it up rapidly and see if there's any gravitic effect.
Look familiar?
We could also apply the high voltage to the large plate and have this at ground potential and see if it moves in any other direction or.
This over here on the left here. Oh, we're using Jitsi because we did this through open source technology. Good job, us.
Gravity.
We're so cool.
These are capable.
Is he going to show the thing? Show the thing. That thing up there, this is from Berkeley Linear Accelerator. He got a bunch of these. I think that was the first one he got.
These 0.01 microfarad. This one is a full microfarad, so it's 100 times more powerful. It has 613 joules, which for those who don't know, that's the number of commandments in the Old Testament of the Bible.
Fun fact.
Which I found pretty interesting. Because all of this stuff connects to religion. I think anti-gravity is what got the Jews through the Reds.
As an Israeli rabbi, I actually take him seriously on this.
That was just technology that made that happen.
Mark's from Israel. He knows a lot of stuff.
That's one of the reasons why I came to this. And to get a capacitor with 613 joules.
Bernie, sorry, you say again?
Through, like about halfway through, I think, is when he's sitting at the other angle in the big open spot.
Try this tube as well.
This one or later? I mean,
Little
this
bit.
was a long, we do long videos.
Watched this like the other night. Maybe it's about a third of the way through.
God, where was I even when I filmed this? This is so long. This was a Timcast. I think I filmed this. Oh, this is the Faraday cage.
Just something you have to be careful about. In Falcon space is
I don't know. I mean, you can
literally
guys, you can go to my channel and look for the Faraday cage tour of Falcon space. If you type Falcon space on Andreas Exertus, you can find this video amongst several others that are at the Falcon space lab, and you can see the evolution of the lab and its progression. And it's pretty sparse when they first got there. I mean, this is not what it looks like now. So it's interesting how much it's changed. And you can also see what they were doing to begin with, especially with the electric cars, and how that taught them so much about supercapacitors and batteries that they're using now for all sorts of things, free energy, as well as alternative propulsion. So I think it's an important video in general. I mean, I don't know exactly where that particular scene you love is.
Yeah.
There's this part he sits down here. Maybe that's, I don't know.
It might be the book he's pulling out. It could be.
Absolutely. I was going to tell Brittany about this. I think she's.
There we go.
You guys are still doing okay, right?
Oh, yeah. So we just decided to show a quick reminiscent tour of the Faraday cage tour of the Falcon Space Research Lab back in 2020, right? So this is when they first got here.
Showing how empty it was, the beginnings, and then
and how young and sprightly tailed and bushy, eyed this young Mark Sokol looked when he first embarked on this journey.
By Frederick E. Alzofon, and it was a propulsion conference in Colorado Springs, Colorado in 1981. So it's a peer-reviewed paper. It offers an alternative explanation to what gravity is and how to manipulate it with present technology. Hence the
pretty exciting stuff. So yeah, if you're interested in that video, Faraday cage tour, I'll put a link to it. I'll send a link to it to Bernie in the chat, and then it can be added if you want it. If you want that, we'll make it easy to find.
Indeed.
Exciting stuff.
Good way to Tim, are you there? Tim, good sir. Tim, you still here? No. Do we got Tim?
I'm here, but
Ventura, are you still here?
Tell us more, Jeremy. Jeremy was earlier. He was out, and we wanted him to ask a question at some point during one of the talks. Was it John's talk?
Yeah, Tim, if you can hear me, I sent a link to a video. I guess I could just try playing it, and it might just not go to my YouTube channel, but it'll play for everybody in the Zoom, and just give a little sample of this is Gerald and his hover coil designs and builds with Jeremiah of Join the Technicians work that they've displayed a couple times, and this stream on my channel from last night. Oh, can you, or this, I guess this is a video displaying it earlier. Can you guys see this? Does it show Jeremiah Pop hoverboard technology? Is that what's displaying in Zoom?
pumping a ton of voltage into the coil. I guess makes it lighter. And air. That's cool.
Right, so this is what they've been working on. This was Jeremiah's build and run of it. They also had some of these. Charlie C has been working on them, and they had them at the lab at Falcon Space here yesterday. And Gerald is the original designer of it. And this was him talking about it last night on the stream. So I'll just play a couple quick minutes of it to end off the event tonight, and then I'll post the link for it for anyone who's interested in the chat, and you can watch the full amount. All right, where the heck is it? This one? No, sorry. Too many things at once with StreamYard and Zoom and Ivan and the Glavin. Here we go. It is.
I'm going to post this nuclear diamond tip battery that they just had perfected.
Nice.
Check that out. It's weird because it just showed up in my stream on YouTube when I first turned it on. So I wonder if we're getting attention.
Right?
Yeah.
Where the heck is this
I'm
one?
still gonna work on my laser experiment with the microtubules. Somebody suggested I should get a scanning electron microscope or something very powerful to, get the petri dish of the tubulin structure and then see when I pump the laser light in it to see what it does and see how if it scatters out.
Entities, they were actually growing, they were moving. He also showed in some of the videos he had that there was they were alive.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah. Yes. If you can figure out what amount of coils it ends up needing to be, then we'll send you a free pair of Exertus rainbow glasses. Just hit us up in the Discord.
And I would say good luck on that, because looking at a coil in the geometrical form, it is almost impossible to guess the lines that go into this. The parallel line inductors in this is insane, the amount that there is. The one that he's got on his desk there is not just a simple solenoid wrap. I'm betting there's got to be at least 75 to 100 on each side.
See, back in the day, just kind of a little tidbit for everybody. Back in the day, Tesla never counted windings; he counted mass.
Yeah.
So when he wanted to get two resonant coils, he always measured the mass of each coil. And that's how he did his math.
Way more logical. And the electrical machine on the table, explain what that is and what's going on there.
Oh, you want to help me out with the...
That's a variable.
Yeah, it's a variable AC. So see some of the AC voltage. Just want to check it, make sure we didn't blow a fuse because the coils are basically just shorts, So we got to be careful. We had blown a breaker earlier, testing it. So now it's only going up to like 2 volts AC.
Yeah, we just gotta maybe get a new variac. It's not going high enough. Yeah, like he's turning it up to 10 volts and it's only reading 2 volt AC.
Wow. It could be stuck or something. Why wouldn't you show anything? Is it stuck there?
Yeah, it's stuck at 2.
I didn't put it up very high. I only put it up like a couple.
Yeah,
we got a much more powerful one.
Yeah, you guys had it up like much higher.
Well, okay. While you guys fix that, Mike, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about the backstory of what brought you in to, Jared told us a little bit before. We can also get back and go deeper into that. But tell us a little bit what got you to do Mike Faraday research and everything.
Well, it started for me probably around 2005, 2006.
Jeremy.
I've seen these guys building these HHO generators for the cars. So I just had to build one of those units. I installed it on a 2000.
Sorry about the glitching. So that's Mike Faraday.
One Pontiac Grand Prix.
Hey, Bernie, mute.
Oh, mute. Yes. Zerdis? Hello.
Yep. What's up?
Okay, so for reference here, this is Mike from Faraday Research Channel up top. He's done several builds with the Don Smith generator, the Adams motor, a working end machine, a water frequency purifier device, as well as carbon graphene or some sort of graphene batteries, and lots of other experiments, part of the team. Excellent work. And below him is Gerald from WPG Enlighten for Truth channel 1 and 2. And Gerald's the original designer of these, the hover coil that I originally played the video of right before this, Jeremiah Pop's hover coil rebuild of it. And then in the top left corner, playing in this clip, you can see that was Jeremy and Charlie working with a couple of these Gerald's coil designs in Falcon Space Lab last night, and that this was all recorded last night. It's a solid 2-hour stream of all sorts of secret sauces in the coil anti-gravity over efficiency energy development research, and the LENR, the field energy force physics and design, the metamaterials, and really good group of people coming together, working here, bringing forward their different experiments, the results, and a community reproducing them and working on different levels of re-verification of others' original inventions, and then expanding upon them. And that's what it's all about. This is what's going to be the X factor that multiplies the acceleration of all of this technology and the breakthroughs, and actually getting to the stars, not just Mars, one day soon. And it starts on my channel. There's Crypto Alchemist, Burn Eye, Mind's Third Eye, Science Guy, and now on Andreas Zertis's The Real Science streams, and it precedes it in another series on just mine called Year of the Coils, where there's a whole bunch of, well, about half of the APEC community locals today have been on it, and continue to. So on that note, I will post the link on it.
Amazing research that's been going on. I mean, it's just crazy seeing the stuff now. Obviously, you know, Mike's Faraday research stuff is just incredible. But the years he's put into the work before it, and the stuff that Bernie's been able to get guys together that aren't usually video makers, they're scientists, and get this information out there. It's like important to understand. There's a reason why this isn't presented by DuPont or by mineral companies. They know it's real. Energy companies know it's real. Military, government, they're all aware of this stuff. They use it for themselves. They want to make sure that you think it's too crazy to learn how to use it yourself. And so no one's going to talk about it except for us. So thank you, Bernie, for all the time you put into making it possible for researchers to come together and to synergize.
And for everybody that's been willing to come forward and open source their work, their technology, the discoveries, and everybody here, and what APEC is. And it's the exact same thing of everybody's life's work finally coming out and being put open source in an open platform of like intelligent and intellectual discussion and building upon. Is Tim, you still here, or does anybody have any last words or questions before?
No, I, you know, Bernie, thank you, man. So let me do this. You know what? Let me put this thing on gallery view. Everybody, give a big applause for Bernie. Bernie, thank you for pushing through the bandwidth issues. Everybody, thank you for your patience with Bernie's bandwidth issues. You know, he's trying to stream, and he's trying to play videos, and he's trying to do Zoom at the same time. So
on like 6 locations, by the way, there's like a bunch of channels trying to. So thank you, Bernie, for setting all that up.
So, since the next event, Jeremy will probably be back at his place and not at the lab, we should be able to integrate the StreamYard, where it'll actually be running on the Alien Scientist, as well as how me and Andreas currently have it, where it's running live on all of our channels from what I'm running right now, instead of both of us, me and Jeremy, having to run independent things, just one StreamYard, and then we can connect in through the Zoom on everything else and make it exponentially more efficient and better.
Yeah, you guys have a lot going on, so thank you for juggling it all.
I'm going to talk to Bernie a bit about how to set things up also. I think that we can get him an Ethernet cable. A couple little things. And Tim, I wanted to also round of applause for Tim.
I'm on an Ethernet cable right now. Sorry,
Okay.
just but
that was a low blow. I'm sorry. No.
From my lab downstairs. That's why there's no Tesla and Einstein painting behind me. I guess I do have the camera from my regular lab downstairs, but I'm actually connected to Ethernet right now.
Well, Scott from my channel said we're going to put together get Bernie the Tesla internet fun. So don't worry, we'll figure out a way to get you like some sort of a SpaceX internet,
Oh God, yes.
Starlink. I was trying to remember the name. But I just want to say also thank you, Tim. Tim, thank you for putting things together and keeping things so tight. I love the way you're presenting and getting everyone together. I want to talk to you after this at some point some more. I've been wanting to do an interview with you at some point. And then in general, just thank you for all the work you're doing to keep this.
Absolutely.